Hi everybody, welcome to Raising Vibrations and your assignment today. So in today's video, I want to talk to you about how we can begin shifting our perspective on our astrology chart to include a more evolutionary point of view. So what I see at the moment is a lot of people who are using astrology in a very outdated way. And I feel that there's this huge potential that we're leaving on the table when we're not including this perspective, when we're doing an astrological analysis and we're trying to figure out the answers to the questions that we're actually asking ourselves when we come to astrology. So, for me, I've been teaching evolutionary astrology for a very long time. I've been working with many people, and of course, I've been using this actual way of looking at the astrology chart in my personal life for a long time. And what I've experienced when I work with people and when I've been teaching and also in my own life is that there's this degree of stuckness that often arises, and I'm sure you've probably experienced it yourself, where we're trying to, again, look at the chart, we see all these symbols, we see all these lines and aspects, and we try and orientate ourselves to make sense of it, right? We try to answer the questions that we have, like, why is this relationship pattern always showing up like this? Or how can I understand my Saturn better, right? And for the most part, there's this sense of opening up and understanding what these planets mean at a very surface level, like character, definitions, and perspectives. But there's this layer of reality that never gets touched or opened up because we don't even know that there is this deeper dimension to the way that the astrology can offer us the answers to what it is that we seek. We're not able to tap into that. And a lot of people are asking the questions, and what I find, not only from my own experience, but when I've talked to people and they've asked me this question, and I apply an evolutionary perspective method on the chart, is that we tap into these deeper states and we bring things to the surface that revolutionize the way that the person is looking at their chart, the way that we begin to interpret what the symbols mean. It takes on a completely different life form. There's an enriching experience that becomes available when we begin to look at the chart from an evolutionary perspective. So one of the things that's very clear to me is in a traditional way of looking at a chart, there's very little attention given to the unconscious, right? The unseen world that we carry with our lives. And the astrology chart, particularly the outer planets, offer so much depth in being able to understand what actually exists beneath the surface for us in our inner world. It's incredible. It really is. It's like it changes the whole entire landscape of how you actually begin to orientate yourself when you look at the chart, because you start to make deeper correlations to experiences that you carry in your life that you've never really been able to identify or bring to light or even process, because again, the definitions and traditional ways of looking at astrology limits our capacity to go into those deeper spaces. So we spend years in therapy, for instance, trying to understand a core complex that we have. And when we look at the chart from an evolutionary perspective and we see this deeper position, right, something that's existing within our unconscious, or we understand our Saturn in a different way, we start to open up not only a deeper dialogue, but we start to cut straight to the point. And it saves time because we're now looking at the chart and we're seeing the patterns within us. And that brings me to another thing that I think is really important when shifting our perspective. When we understand the chart, up until this point in time, we have this kind of conscious or unconscious, relationship to tell me who I am, right? The chart tell me who I am.
I define myself through my chart. And again, that's completely limiting because we're looking outside of ourselves for something to help us make sense of ourselves. And the idea here is to really switch the perspective and to see the chart as a mirror that's reflecting your own inner journey within yourself. Like there's another switch is, oh, hold on, the chart is not defining me. The chart is actually merely reflecting what's already going on inside of me. So there's this symbiotic relationship that actually begins to take place between you and the chart in a way where you're bringing yourself to the conversation, your experiences, your trials, your emotional journey, and you're beginning to use the chart to awaken what's within you instead of it defining you. And then you having this crystallized identity, my Aries sun sign is this and therefore this is who I am. Like it's completely limiting and it's outdated, honestly. I mean, we're living in a world right now where there's a tremendous amount of change. You can see it across the board. There's levels of uncertainty that are rising within people. And what naturally occurs is if we don't understand something, we sort of lean towards trying to find meaning in it. It's our nature. And astrology offers people an opportunity to answer those questions, right? What is the meaning of this relationship ending? Or why do I have the parents I have? Or how do I make sense of a very complex world, especially considering that we're going through so much upheaval, change, and turmoil, right? It's a natural place that we would come to. We would want to look at astrology as a way to answer these questions. But if we're using an outdated system to answer these questions that are alive and real for us right now, like we're not going to actually render any results other than what's on the surface, because that's what it does. It just answers what's on the surface. And so there's this whole entire level of reality that we're missing out on and we're not tapping into because we're limited by this outdated system. So an evolutionary perspective is allowing yourself to recognize that there's actually something deeper going on. There is an evolutionary intention, that you are part of a journey that is not just defined by one character definition found on the internet, but something infinitely more complex. And when we awaken that conversation within us, there's liberation, there's changes, there's acceptance, there's healing. And we do live in a world right now where there's so much like awareness that's coming to the surface. We're able to recognize our traumas, we can process through them. There's transformation that is happening for a lot of people. And when we tap into astrology and we see it as a tool for transformation, and we start to have a dialogue with it that is including us and our evolutionary intentions, it's a completely different experience. It's enriching in every single way. So I've got an upcoming video, and what I'll do there is I'll show you what the first step is needed to begin integrating an evolutionary perspective, okay? And I also want to let you know as well that I've got an upcoming course where you get to study astrology with me, and we're going to be opening registration for that, which I'm really excited about. So if that's something that you want, I'm going to be taking a handful of students and we're going to be learning how to apply the evolutionary method to the chart. So if you want to participate in that experience, we've actually got an early bird wait list, and the link to sign up for that is in the description beneath this video, okay? So all you need to do is just put your name and email on that, and we'll let you know when the registration opens. All right? Cool, guys. I really hope that this added value to you, that it opened you to seeing something in a different way. And don't forget to check out for the next video that will be coming up. And like I said, I'll be talking to you about how to take that first step, okay? All right, have an amazing day. Cheers, guys. Bye.